morning everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall District. And my name's Susanna and I live in Trains, and today, as you can probably tell, we are not at Mildenhall District. We are at Alton train station, which I don't know if you can see it. Oh, here you go. There you go. Alton train station. Because today is a very special day in a number of ways, because today's as much about the journey as it is about the destination. So we're heading off to Tolworth Show Train, which is in London, just on the outskirts, and basically it's the Tolworth Show Train in Surbiton, so we have to catch the train from here direct to Surbiton. But it's, like I said, it's much about the journey as it is about the destination. And the reason being is that, for those of you who live in this part of the world will know that the Class 455 of South Western Railway is going to be retired, and they're going to have a special event on the 21st of December, I believe it is, for their last train. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make that. I'd like to, but I don't know if I can. However, today, according to real-time trains, and I've checked real-time trains today, I could stay on this train and get this train direct all the way to Surbiton without having to change. But I'm going to change at Woking Station to catch the 455, one of my last trips on the 455, from Woking all the way down to Surbiton, which won't be a long trip, but it'll still be about half an hour or so on the train. So it'll be one of my last few opportunities, if not my last opportunity, to ride a 455, and I might try and see if I can get a ride back on a 455 on the way back too. Also, I'm going to catch up with my dear friend en route, as we're going to be going together, and Gary from Cheeky Tech is coming with me. We're really good friends and we don't live too far away, we get on really well together, so we're going to have a day out together. And so that's going to be another bonus, so that's going to be absolutely brilliant to spend a day out with a really dear friend of mine. And then when we get to Tolworth Show Train, depending on what happens, you know, we may meet other people, we may not, I don't know. I'm not overly bothered, as I keep saying. It's like I said, I'm not doing it for any particular reason. It's just, we're going to see what sort of layouts they've got there. I know there's definitely a couple of layouts there that I'd like to see. So that's one of the reasons for going, as well as the 455. Now, my connection with the 455 is quite simple. I'm pretty much a Southern Region person, and I've always grown up with EMUs and DMUs mainly. And when I was younger, I didn't really, although I travelled on slam door stock, my main, as I was growing up, I always remember the EMUs, and mainly like the 455s and the 456s, for those of you who know what those are. And also, as I've grown older, I've got used to the 444s, this 450, and also EFE, which I'm so pleased, back when EFE, I'm so pleased they announced that they're actually going to bring out the Class 313, and I travelled on those all the time, so I'm super chuffed with that. So no doubt I've got two on order, there might be a third, but I'm not sure. There's definitely two on pre-order, and there might be a third, because I travelled on those things all the time. And so I'm no stranger to EMUs, and I love them, and any of you who've been following this channel for any period of time will know that I have been, on all of my layouts, always had a fondness for my DMUs and EMUs. So I'm super chuffed that Batman could bring out the 313 EMU. And the 455s I've travelled a lot as well on, went back in the Network South East days, and also now with the South West trains and the South Western Railways. So it's going to be sad for me. It's like a bit of an end of an era for me. It's kind of like when it's one of those milestone transport moments, you know, like when we lost the jumbo jets, you know, and they've all kind of pretty much disappeared apart from the cargo ones. You know, there's a few flying for Lufthansa, but that's pretty much one of the few airlines left that run them in passenger service. And then Concord again was another thing, which is like an end of an era kind of thing. And slowly but surely, the era that I've grown up with is slowly disappearing. And also, we're going to have, not too long now, we're going to have, if those of you who are Londoners will know about the Piccadilly line train upgrade. So they'll be getting rid of the old 1973 stock, which again I grew up with, and that's going to be quite sad as well. And especially the Bakerloo line, the 1972 stock, when that goes, and that will be going shortly because they're having upgrades too. So there's a lot of changes going on in the transport, which for me is like an end of my era. You know, this is what I've been growing up with those kind of things, and now slowly but surely, you know, all these things are starting to disappear. But we've got the EMUs, the 450s, and at some point I might be saying the same about these. So, but I do love travelling on these, they're very smooth. So we're going to go to pick up Gary, and then we're going to make our way to Woking, and then at Woking, hopefully, real-time trains haven't let us down, and that 455 will be there waiting for us to take us down to Surbiton. Because the other thing is there's a vintage bus service, that's another thing, that will take us to Tolworth from Surbiton station. And that vintage bus service runs at 10 past and 22 the hour. Now this train actually gets in to Surbiton if I stay on this train, pretty much at the same time as the bus is due to leave. So it doesn't actually make any difference to us to get on the 455, have a ride on that 455, and by the time we get to Surbiton, we won't have very much time to wait for our vintage bus service to take us to Tolworth. So anyway, it's enough of that. Enough of my brief little history and my sort of reminiscence and memories of these electric multiple units. I love them to bits, and we take this for granted. We travel on them every day. And even the 455s back in the day, you just don't think anything of it. You just sit on them, you ride on them, you go to work, you go home. You don't think much of it. But once they go, it does take a little bit away, you know. But anyway, I'll speak to you shortly. Bye for now. Amby.
Hello.
Hello.
Who's that little bald guy? That's me.
Here with Gary to Protect. We're on our way to Surbiton Tolworth show train. So let's show you what we've got. We've got our 455. Just spin the camera around. Here we go. We're finally going to get to ride. This could be our final chance. That's not it. That's a 444. That's one of those new fancy snazzy EMUs. Well, not new. They've been around, what, 20 years now, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they've been a long time.
I think they're in 2000s, weren't they, introduced? Here it is. Could be our last ever journey. I'm hoping to get on this train back.
Well, maybe.
Yes. I don't know if this is the one that was advertised, but it's actually an 8 coach? Or
It looks like 8 coaches.
yeah. Oh. I'm going to have to take a photograph for the thumbnail, aren't I? On board our 455. It's so nice. Let me turn you around. So this is what it looks like. Although it's a bit battered, you can tell they're going to just get rid of it soon.
It's done its time, isn't it? To be honest with you,
but this is the inside. You happy to be on the 455?
Nostalgic.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's an end of an era. So we're going to take our little trip on our 455 down to Tolworth and maybe catch her on the way back. So I've got a couple of photographs for you, so I'll stick them in there so you can have a look for those of you. I know it might not mean very much to many people, but to us from this part of the world,
you're welling up. You are welling up.
No, it's just,
you are.
No, I'm not. It's just, it's quite sad, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, they've been served their good time.
Yeah, right. No, as Gary said earlier to me, you know, life goes on, I guess. So, toodaloo. Just in time for the compressor. Say goodbye to the 455. Off she goes to London Waterloo. We might get another one on the way up. That was quite busy, that was. That was quite a busy journey, but I enjoyed it. Bye bye. So welcome back to my home, and my apologies for not actually doing any filming of the Tolworth show train. And to be honest with you, I kind of sort of suspected that I wasn't going to do any filming, because I know I'm not very good at doing the filming, going at exhibitions. I know that there's people out there who do a far grander job of doing filming at the exhibitions, and it was more about the ride on the 455 more than anything else, which me and Gary thoroughly enjoyed, and it was just a nice way to spend the day together actually, and I'm really pleased that we had the opportunity to say goodbye to the 455, which is really nice. And if you would like to ride on the 455, then get your skates on, because they won't be around for too much longer. They'll be gone by the end of December, so that's not too far away. It's literally just over a month away. So they are still on passengers revenue services out of Waterloo at the moment, but they are getting more and more scarcer. And from tomorrow you can actually book a ride on their farewell tour and I believe they're going around Hazelmere and all the way around there and doing the Branch Line tour, I think it's called. And you can go out on www.branchline.co.uk, I believe is where you can get your tickets from, and it's on a Sunday, 21st of December, I believe it is. I won't be going. I was thinking about going, but then I thought, well, to be honest with you, it's going to be a bit full on with people and everything, and you're not really going to really enjoy. I say you're not going to enjoy it. I suppose you are going to enjoy it, but from my point of view, because of my anxiety issues and stuff, and being in a confined space with a huge amount of people, I don't think I'd be enjoying it as much as I'd like to think I would. So, but it was nice to spend the day with Gary and doing the 455 together. That was really nice, and I think that would mean a little bit more and a more appropriate way, at least from my end, to sort of say goodbye to the 455. And I was very fortunate to get to ride it, because I checked on real-time trains and it just so happens that the 455 was scheduled to run at that particular time, because like I said, they are getting scarcer, and as it turns out, on the way home, the train on the way home was scheduled to be a D0, so we wouldn't have got to ride it on the way home. Did I get away with it buying anything at the show train? Well, no, I did spend a little bit. Not too much, just a bit of wall art for me, just to go on with all the rest of it, like to make my home more of a home from my point of view. So anyway, until the next time, my name's Susanna and I live with trains, and the next video you're going to get is a layout update and a rolling stock update and a look into the future. So bye for now. Bye bye.